Hey there, and welcome. Ever wonder how to talk about more than one thing in English? I mean, it's something you do all the time, right? Well, in this quick explainer, we're going to crack the code on plural nouns. It's way easier than you think. Ready? Let's jump right in.
Okay, so everything starts with just one. Take a look here. We've got one book. Super simple, right? Anytime you're talking about a single item, a single person, whatever it is, this is what you use. But let's be real, life is usually more complicated than just one thing. So what happens when you have more? Two, three, maybe a whole bunch of them? How do you say that in English? And here it is, the big secret. Most of the time, you just add an S. That's it. See how one book just became three books? That tiny little S at the end does all the work. It's a total game changer. So don't think of this as some boring grammar lesson. Nope. This is a super useful English secret that's going to make you sound way more natural, like right away. So let's get to it. All right, first up is the main rule. This is the big one, the one you're going to use probably 90% of the time. For most words, you just stick an S on the end. Simple as that. Just look at these common examples. You've got one cat, now you've got a bunch of cats. One car turns into a street full of cars. An apple becomes apples. See? It's usually a piece of cake. Okay, now here's a cool little trick to make you sound even more like a native speaker. It's all about how you say that S. Sometimes it sounds like a hiss, like S, and other times it buzzes, like Z. Here's the secret. Put your hand on your throat. When you say the sound before the S, like the T in cat, do you feel a vibration? Nope. So the S is quiet, cats. Now try it with dog. Feel that buzz from the G? That means the S buzzes too, dogs. Go on, give it a try. It really works. So what about when just adding an S feels, well, kind of awkward to say? English has a solution for that. We've got a helper rule, adding ES. It's all about making things easier to pronounce. So here's the deal. If a word already ends in a hissing or buzzing sound, like S, sh, ch, X, or Z, we need to give it a little extra breathing room. We add ES to create a whole new syllable. Take a look. You can't really say bus, right? It just sounds weird. So bus becomes buzzes. Hear that? Buzzes. Same with dish, it becomes dishes. And box becomes boxes. That little ES just makes everything flow so much better. Okay, now we get to the really fun stuff, the rule breakers. English has a bunch of special words that just do their own thing. I like to call them memory words because, well, you just have to memorize them. But hey, don't sweat it. They're words you'll hear all the time. So, one of the most common patterns with these memory words is a simple vowel change. For example, one man becomes two men. See that? The A just flips to an E. And it's the same idea for woman, which becomes women. Easy enough, right? And here's another vowel swap you'll see a lot. The oo sound changes to an E sound. So you have one foot, but 2 feet. You have one tooth, but a whole mouthful of teeth. Now this next one is a biggie, absolutely crucial. You have one person, but if you have more than one, you have people. Now you might see the word persons on like a legal document or an elevator sign, but trust me, in everyday chat, it's always people. And then, of course, there are some words that really change things up. One child becomes a group of children, and one little mouse in your kitchen becomes a big problem of mice. These are just classic ones you gotta know. Okay, one last little pattern for these special words. If a word ends with an F or FE sound, you'll often change it to VES. So a single leaf on a tree becomes a pile of leaves in the fall. And one knife becomes a set of knives. Now get ready for this, because some words are, well, they're a bit lazy. They don't change at all. The word for one is the exact same word for many. Let's look at the top 3 you need to know. You can have one sheep or a whole flock of sheep, one deer or a bunch of deer in the forest, one fish or an entire aquarium full of fish. See? The word itself doesn't change. It's the rest of the sentence that tells you how many there are. All right, you've seen the main rule, the helper rule, and all those crazy memory words. Now it's your turn to put it to the test. Let's do a super quick quiz to see how you're doing. Okay, question number 1. You see one woman. A moment later, you see another one with her. So now there are two. What? Think about it for a sec.
You got it. It's two women. Remember that little vowel change from a to I? Awesome job. All right, here's the next one. Let's say you ate too much candy. Ouch! You wouldn't say, my tooth hurt, if the whole row is aching. You'd say, my hurt? What's the word? Exactly. My teeth hurt. That's that oo to e swap we talked about. See? You're totally getting the hang of this. So let's put this all together in a super simple checklist for you. Number 1, for most words, just add s. Easy. Number 2, if it ends in one of those hissy, buzzy sounds, add es. And number 3, keep those special memory words in your back pocket. That's pretty much the whole shebang. And that's it. You've cracked the code. You now know the secret to talking about more than one thing in English. So I've got a question for you. Now that you know the rules, what are you going to count first? The books on your shelf, the people walking by, the cars on the road? Go on, give it a shot.